Buying a home has definitely changed over the past couple of years. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about the crazy, unreal real estate market that has been unlike anything most of us have ever seen in our lifetime. There's been way more buyers than homes available, a lot of competition between those buyers, and then the unimaginable happened. People started overpaying even more than what the appraisal was just to have their offers accepted. There are definitely some things that you need to know before starting the process of buying a home here in San Antonio, and I'm going to give you the top 7 mistakes home buyers are making, and we're going to get started right now. Hey there, this is Denise Ross with Keller Williams City View Realty here in San Antonio. And if you've been thinking about making the move to San Antonio, I love helping people make San Antonio their home. So feel free to give me a call, a text, or an email. I'd love to help you get your questions answered or to get your process of moving started. Now we're going to jump right into the top 7 mistakes home buyers are making here in San Antonio. The real estate market has been absolutely unreal, and in some cases, almost like an auction type environment where the list price is the starting price. For most people, buying a home is a big investment, so it is important to try to avoid any and all mistakes that you can. And in helping folks relocate here and buy homes, the first mistake I see people making is trying to go it alone. You need a realtor. You deserve to have the best resources and access to the best homes in making this very large purchase that will likely be your biggest asset.
Why? You need some professional advice.
Sometimes the internet sites such as Zillow and others will show you homes that aren't even on the market for sale. And you would be surprised how many homes are sold before they ever even hit the market. Between agents networking, intra-office internet, and there's even a whole section of the MLS dedicated to private listings for people who don't want it publicly known that their house is for sale. So without a realtor, you would be missing out on all of these opportunities to see your potential home. And let me tell you, the amount of buyers that are looking at kind of this off-market shadow type inventory is a lot less, and therefore there's a lot less competition for it. In addition, trying to do it on your own without a realtor puts you at a disadvantage. Agents are bound ethically to put their client's best interest first. So if you see a home that you like and you call up the listing agent who is working for the seller, they are ethically bound to put their seller's interests first. And you need somebody in your corner to advocate for you. The second mistake I see folks making is expecting perfection or being too picky. There is no perfect home unless you custom build it. So you need to think about what you can compromise on and what you can't live without. You need to sit down and make a list of the must-haves and the nice-to-haves, and you should talk through those with your realtor, and they can help you keep your wishes and your pickiness in line with your budget. Because inventory is low in the seller's market, you as a buyer will have fewer homes to choose from, and your dream home might not be for sale, but you should be able to find one that fits your must-have list. For most people, it's not a forever home. People tend to move about every 7 years, so don't be distracted by the flashy extras that you can't afford. Focus on your needs list that you made before so that you know what you can't compromise on. It'll be much easier to keep a clearer head when it's time to make an offer. The third mistake I see people making is having the fear of missing out and not following their plan. This usually happens with buyers who are out of town and are browsing on Zillow or Realtor.com, and they aren't ready to come here and take a look at homes yet, or people who haven't yet gone through the pre-approval process yet. They see a home there and they think this will be the perfect home for me, but yet you're not ready to make an offer. Trust me, the right home will be there when you are ready. But yes, once we get to that point, you need to act quickly. It's a tough balancing act between making a careful decision and moving quickly. And if you see a home and you think, I love it, but I'm going to keep looking, don't do that.
What a bad idea.
You are going to probably later regret that decision because that home is going to be gone. So don't miss out for fear of missing out and wanting to see everything. That's where thinking about your wants, your must-haves, and your nice-to-haves in advance becomes even more crucial in being able to make those quick decisions. The fourth mistake I see buyers making is trying to be shrewd with their offer or expecting to get a deal. Sometimes people will ask me, what do you think I need to offer? I can certainly go to the listing agent and ask them what is important to the sellers. Maybe they're needing a certain closing date, or maybe they're worried about financing falling through, or maybe certain other things in the contract are important to them. But I don't know exactly what other people are going to offer. So most people have a number in mind that they're willing to pay, and then they have a stretch number in mind that they're not willing to go above that. My advice is that you should offer the most money that you can so that you can sleep at night. Sleep well at night, whether you get the house and you think, I didn't overpay, the house is worth this, and I'm so happy I got this house. Or if you don't get the house, if your offer is not accepted, that you think, I offered all I could and I wasn't gonna pay $1 more.
Not a penny more.
So whatever that figure is for you, that's what you should offer for the house. The fifth mistake I see buyers making is getting started too late. Don't wait until the last minute. If you come to me midsummer and say, I want to be in my new house before school starts in mid-August, or my lease is up in 6 weeks and I have to be out of there, that's not going to give us very much time, and it's probably not going to happen.
We need more time.
First of all, you need to be pre-qualified before we go look at any homes, so you can be ready to move quickly, and that's going to take anywhere from a day or two to about a week, and then a couple weeks to a month to look for a house. If you're going to be really picky, it's going to take us even longer to find the right house for you. And then usually it's about 30 to 45 days from the time that we make an offer until the time that we close. So you need to plan ahead, and if you're going to need credit repair or something like that, you need to start even earlier. Even if your move is not going to be 6 to 9 to 12 months from now, that is totally fine. You can reach out and we can talk about what steps you need to take at this point in time. The sixth mistake I see folks making when buying a home in San Antonio is choosing the wrong lender. Now, of course, you are welcome to choose any lender that you'd like. But choosing a lender is about more than just what your interest rate is going to be and what your payment is going to be. You want to pick somebody that you are going to be able to get a hold of. Can you call them after 6 p.m.? Do they answer the phone? Can you call them on the weekend when we're out looking at a home and you see one you like and we need to make an offer and we need that pre-qualification letter exactly for the price of the home? We may need the lender to pick up the phone and call the listing agent to reinforce how strong your financing and your approval is. That is one thing that has become increasingly more important in this competitive market, is listing agents and sellers are scrutinizing what financing is coming through with their offers. So if the lender can give a phone call and say, you know, this client has a really strong financing, it's not going to fall through, and the listing agent knows the reputation of that lender and knows that they're prone to close on time, knows that they'll get the appraisal done on time and things won't be delayed, you'll have a much more competitive advantage. Mistake number 7 I see home buyers making is probably the most important, and it is exceeding what you can afford. When you get pre-approved with a lender, they're going to give you a figure of what you can afford, and it is going to be based only on your debts and your gross income. It is not going to be based on your net income, so it doesn't take into account your taxes, your health care, how much you spend on groceries, any other bills that you have to pay. It's only going to take into account your other debts, like your car payment and your credit card payments, and your gross income. So once you get that pre-approval letter, you need to look at that and really calculate what you can afford, because the last thing I want you to do is to become house poor and for you to think, I have to make this house payment and I can't afford to go out to eat ever, or I can't take my family on a vacation, because that is not fun, and I don't want you to wind up losing your home. So if you have any questions about what you think you can afford versus what you are pre-approved for, please let me know. I'll be happy to talk through that with you. Post in the comments below if any of these things that I mentioned surprised you, or if you hadn't thought of one of them before. I would love to hear from you. So post that in the comments below. If you have any other questions that I haven't answered today, or you are interested in knowing more about San Antonio or even getting your moving process started, feel free to call, text, or email me. I'd love to hear from you. I love helping people make San Antonio their home. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every time we post a new video. Thanks so much for watching.